Please welcome our host for today's event, a broadcast journalist from CNN Philippines, Miss Pinky Webb.
Hello and welcome to the premiere launch of Robinson's Land's newest luxury residential enclave, Forbes Estates Lipa. My name is Pinky Webb. Good afternoon to everyone. You know, traditionally, this would have taken place at the project site itself, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. It's a virtual launch bringing everyone together online. Today marks another milestone as one of the country's top real estate developers launches its newest luxury residential offering. Robinson's Land is solidifying its growing reputation in the luxury living arena with Forbes Estates Lipa. Based on the latest residential real estate price index of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic, hear this, there has been an increasing demand for luxury and upscale properties such as second residences, vacation or even holiday homes, beach properties, houses and lots in Laguna and Batangas. This demand is expected to continue as the pandemic changed the way people live and work, where safety and wellness have become top priorities. Now, as we head into the better normal, today might be a good time for you to, reevaluate your residential property options and consider Forbes Estates Lipa. In the next hour, please stay with us as we embark in this pursuit of a life well lived. Even if we're doing this virtually, you will experience, I promise you, the uniqueness and exclusivity of this iconic estate with a virtual tour. Then, we will be joined by the builders and designers of Forbes Estates Lipa to share their vision and intent from the lens of property development, architecture, interior design, and of course, sustainable master planning. And lastly, we'll get to know prominent Lipa residents who have built and established sustainable and deeply fulfilling lifestyles in Lipa. Who knows, after this interesting discussion, you might be the next resident of Lipa. All these are happening later throughout the launch, but right now, let's welcome an inspiring man who is responsible for the impressive expansion of RLC. They develop land, but they are in the business of taste. Joining us now to open the program is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Robinson's Land, Mr. Frederick Go.
To all our clients and property consultants here and abroad, our peers from the real estate industry, our dear friends from the media, and to all our guests who have joined us virtually, a great and pleasant afternoon to all of you. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the official launch of our newest luxury residential development, Forbes Estates, in the first-class city of Lipa, Batangas. This event would not have been possible without the hard work and tireless efforts of our entire team at Robinson's Land, our development partners, and our special guests today, who you will all meet shortly. The 2-year pandemic has not stopped RLC from aspiring to offer our clients a hopeful, successful, and blessed future. After the successful launches of our luxury projects, such as the residences at the Westin Manila Sonata Place in Ortigas Center, the Aurelia residences in Bonifacio Global City, and the latest Velaris residences in our Bridgetown Destination Estate, we are proud to introduce the newest addition to our portfolio of luxury real estate developments, Forbes Estates Lipa. In the next hour, we hope to give you a sneak peek of this luxury horizontal enclave that we developed in pursuit of a well-lived life. It is a fulfillment of our vision to combine exceptional taste with day-to-day comforts and pleasures, It is a step towards our goal of enabling a meaningful way of living, providing our residents the luxury of space, time, and a life well lived. Through Forbes Estates Lipa, we aim to redefine luxury neighborhood living and empower diverse, sustainable lifestyles in lasting communities. We also hope that you will enjoy browsing through the official Forbes Estate Lipa cocktail table book that is exclusively reserved for our Forbes Estates clients. Here, we highlight the beauty and grandeur of the estate and the Lipa neighborhood. Once again, thank you for joining us in celebrating this important milestone. I hope you will all be entertained and delighted with the special presentation we have prepared. Together, let us discover and experience a new kind of life that awaits in Forbes Estates Lipa.
And thank you so much for your message, Mr. Frederick Go. Located within the charming and progressive city of Lipa, Batangas, Forbes Estates is a viable address for those who seek privacy but also desire all the conveniences of city living. With its close proximity to the country's capital, Lipa is highly accessible and it's a fast-growing economic powerhouse in the south, truly a first-class city. And now to talk more about the future of the city, it is with pleasure that I introduce the Mayor of Lipa City in Batangas, Mayor Eric Africa.
To all my fellow Lipeños and to all Filipinos watching from the Philippines and abroad, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Today is a very special and momentous event, and I am very happy to be celebrating with you the launching of Forbes Estate Lipa. First of all, I would like to thank Robinson's Land for choosing Lipa City to be the location of their first ever luxury residential subdivision outside Metro Manila. Congratulations, you made the right decision. The development of Forbes Estate is part of our plan for Bagong Lipa. Our plan to make Lipa City a truly progressive and global community. There is so much to look forward to. There are many reasons to live in Lipa, beyond our famous Lomi and Kapeng Barako. Lipa is among the top 10 next wave cities, a fast emerging city in the country, becoming a major commercial, agro-industrial, IT, and residential hub. Infrastructure projects are underway. Our rich culture and heritage, our cool climate, and our various lifestyle destinations and business-friendly environment has made Lipa an ideal place for our home and investments. In Lipa, we don't settle for less, and we only aim for the best. I look forward to welcome you all in our city, and I hope that you will consider investing in Lipa, Batangas for future time. Mabuhay po ang lungsod ng Lipa at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
And thank you, Mayor Eric Africa, for gracing this event. This next wave city in Batangas will certainly elevate the lifestyle of Lipeños. And now, let's discover what's in store for you in Forbes Estates Lipa as we unveil their official video entitled In Pursuit of a Life Well Lived. Let's all watch this.
We develop land, but we are in the business of taste. Robinson's Land, one of the country's leading property developers, builds the next in its growing portfolio of luxury developments. With Forbes Estates Lipa, an exclusive residential enclave that affords you the elusive luxury of space. Luxury of time. luxury of a life well lived. Nestled in the first-class city of Lipa, Batangas, the estate is accessible via major thoroughfares and is less than a 2-hour drive from Manila. Surrounded by life's modern conveniences, Forbes Estates Lipa embodies understated elegance, grounded opulence, celebrating space and quiet privacy in luxurious, low-density living. Bask in the unobstructed views of southern skies. Vast roads and spacious paths echo the estate's governing principles of open air. In the presence of nature that truly nurtures. Embrace the art of slow living. Reclaim time and savor life on your own schedule. Whether it's making time to move, time to play, time to muse, or time to commune. Build and design your own suburban solace with our premium residential offerings. Extend your home beyond the front door with the club lots. Live within the pockets of sanctuary of the Park Loop. The perfect marriage of privacy and community is found in the courtyards. Immerse yourself in an oasis of calm with the estate lots. Nature is respectfully integrated into the master plan of the estate. Reduced carbon footprint is a result of the consciously designed amenities and open spaces that echo the estate's governing principles of sustainability. Allowing residents to bask in natural light, warmth, and the cool climate of Lipa. Lipa City's low-key luxuries is all within minutes from the Enclave. A culinary and retail haven for artisanal finds, wellness destinations, and weekend escapes. Fairways, riding halls, and the great outdoors. Iconic farms and distilleries. Discover the city's storied heritage. And sitting among the lush landscape is a thriving culture and commerce. Celebrate space. Savor time. And embrace a life well lived. Only here at Forbes Estates Lipa by Robinson's Land.
And so I know by now you're all thrilled to be on site to see and experience Forbes Estates Lipa. Now here in the studio, I am joined by Robinson's Land's Head of Business Development for Forbes Estate, AJ De Leon. He's going to give us a walkthrough of the entire property. I'm sure this is what they're waiting for. So AJ, I've seen this prior to today and it's quite impressive. So I've heard that Forbes Estate Lipa is the first of its kind, its kind project by Robinson's Land. So first, can you tell us some key information about it? What do we need to know?
Yes, that's correct, Pinky. Forbes Estates Lipa is Robinson's Land's first luxury residential enclave, and we made sure it was really a first of its kind. We were very deliberate when it came to its design, plans, specifications to deliver only the best for our clients. The whole estate spans a land area of 21 hectares with a very low density of having only 10 residential lots per hectare with an average lot cut of 500 square meters. We also offered more than 40% of the estate for open spaces, including 3,700 square meters for the main park at the entrance, as well as 1 hectare for the main amenity area.
That's very interesting. You have so much land, but almost half, well, as AJ mentioned a while ago, 40% actually goes to open spaces. Where can you find that? Okay, with that amount of open space that I was talking about earlier, everyone will feel definitely refreshed. They'll feel connected to nature without having to leave their home. That's key. But AJ, some would say, parang Lipa is quite far from the metro. Malayo ba? Is it?
Actually, it's not. For those who are concerned that this is located in Lipa, that won't be an issue because Forbes Estates Lipa has direct access to major thoroughfares, highways leading to Manila, and major commercial hubs in South Luzon. In fact, it only takes an hour and 30 minutes to get there, may it be through NLEX, SLEX, CALAX, or Cavitex. Talking about the location and the vicinity of the projects in Lipa, it's very near the
Apart
exit
from the
point.
toll gates.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's just under 3 kilometers away from the Balete exit. And it's very near places of interest such as commercial areas. SNR is less than a kilometer away. It's very accessible to Robinson's Place Lipa, as well as other places of interest for education, worship, and of course, recreation and leisure.
That's right, because the farm at San Benito is also there, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Maybe we can look at the overview of the site.
Yes.
So,
So sharing here on the
Okay.
screen again is the vicinity map of Forbes Estates. As you can see, everything is just around 5 kilometers
Yeah.
from the property.
so that's quite near. Okay, so here's the thing. What's important here is you actually get to enjoy both the country and city life without having to spend long hours on the road. AJ already told us there's a lot of exits that we can actually take. I'm
That's
excited to see more of this walkthrough.
Hopefully, our clients and guests are also excited. I'm also excited to finally showcase the property.
Pinaghandaan mo to.
Yes. So let's begin our virtual walkthrough with the main entryway for Forbes Estates Lipa. The main entryway of Forbes Estates Lipa is found 250 meters away from the main road, which is JP Laurel. We made it such of a setback so that you get that sense of privacy.
Right.
As you can see in our design, we have a 22-meter wide spine road, making sure that we have enough space for 4 lanes, especially for the residents. They have their dedicated lane, so they won't be hampered in going to their lots and houses. And at the same time, for let's say they invite their family and guests during the weekends, we also have a dedicated lane for them so that privacy and security is not
So you
compromised.
have the homeowner and you have the guests.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. I'm also showcasing here that our main road is tree-lined with pine trees just to accentuate the cool weather of Lipa, because Lipa is found in our project as 312 meters above sea level. It has an average coolness of 20 degrees Celsius, so
Wow.
it's very cold in that area.
Okay. I've been there. It does get cold.
Yes. And then lastly, in the main entrance, if you take a look at on the left side, we actually allocated 8,000 square meters for a community lifestyle center having a floor area of at least 7,000 square meters. We have partner tenants here, such as Rustan's Marketplace, Robinson's Appliances, and Daiso and such.
Handyman, right?
Yes,
It's
handyman.
there too.
Handyman
Okay.
is there as well. So as this shows our buyers and our property owners that the value we imbued in the land is not just for residential, it has a strong commercial potential in terms of value appreciation as well.
Agree. So Forbes Estates, Lipa, offers exciting amenities. Would you care to share more about that?
Sure, I would love to. Upon entering the estate, you are greeted by our estate park complex. It's 3,700 square meters of having several parks. At the heart of it is our estate circle with an existing and beautiful acacia tree. Our estate park complex is comprised of 4 main park areas, starting with a 400 square meter tranquility park, in which you can go there to have the luxury of contemplation and introspection. You can read a book there, read your newspaper, and hopefully achieve Zen. We also put a a water feature at the center of it. Yes.
Okay.
The next park that can be seen here is a 300 square meter pet park, so that you can bring your canine family members for a walk or some exercise, given the
Bring your fur babies there. So
Yes.
that's nice because the Tranquility Park is separate from the pet park.
Yes.
But there's more.
There's more.
Okay.
There's much more. We also have the active clients in mind. So we also have a wellness park.
Oh, okay.
This is a 600 square meter park where you can jog around, do your laps, and also we have a vast lawn in which you can do your outdoor exercises and do your outdoor yoga. And last but not the least is our biggest park, which we call the Picnic Grove. The Picnic Grove Park is actually more than 2,200 square meters.
That's huge. Yeah.
Yes, with vast lawns and vast sitting, so that you can bring your family, have picnics. And aside from that, we actually introduced an orchard. So what's more beautiful than watching nature take place and bearing fruit?
Right.
Which we hope our clients will also have in their
Okay,
investments.
I'm
that they
going
will
to
bear
summarize
fruit.
that again.
Sure.
Tranquility Park.
Yes.
Okay. To achieve Zen. Oh,
Yes.
You have the pet park for your fur babies. You have a wellness park where you can jog, do your yoga, and then you have a picnic grove where you can hang out with the family and friends, have a bottle of wine, have sandwiches, or even, eat.
Yes.
Packed
that's correct.
lunches, pwede niyong dalhin siyan. So this is a place where you have 4 different parks in one area. So we're not gonna stop there because from different activities down to different parks, Forbes Estates Lipa has a wide range of amenities.
You're right, Pinky. And to deliver a complete luxurious experience, a 1-hectare parcel is dedicated for the main open space. We call the main open space as the Forbes Club.
The Forbes Club,
Yes.
okay?
Although we do have all the trimmings and amenities of a club, there's no club shares. It's just exclusive for our buyers.
You mean if you were to buy a lot there, you can use the clubhouse, you do not need to be a member?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
You have direct access to the Forbes Club. The Forbes Club, the main structure, has a 400 square meter lobby, as well as a 400 square meter grand ballroom that can easily house a guest of 200 personnel. Let's go inside the clubhouse so we can
Let's
see.
look at it.
So this is what I mentioned, that we have a main lobby and garden lounge of 200 square meter for our clients. And upon entering Forbes Club, you are greeted by the garden lane. So this is a tree-lined walkway of balatbitan trees. And if you go around, it has very nice leaves, flowers, and it's the perfect mix of green and blue hues. But
Yeah.
we'll go to the pool area later.
That looked big too.
Yes. We have a vast park area. May it be, you can also do your picnics inside
I
the
see.
Forbes Club, or it can also be used as a spillover area for your events. So that if 200 people is too small for your event,
need more. Yeah,
yes,
you need more
you can also
guests.
use the lawn area for this.
I see.
And then let's take a look at the blues in the area. In Forbes Club, we have actually 3 types of pools. We have the
I see.
60 square meter kiddie pool, 140 square meter leisure or wading pool, so that if it's just really a hot day and you just want to have a dip and relax, we have that leisure pool. And for those who are really active, we have a 24 meter
25-meter lap pool,
Yes,
huh?
yes.
Wow.
With 4 lanes, so if you're really into doing your exercise and laps, you don't have to worry about bumping into
Yeah.
other people.
Because you have 4 lanes there. That's
Yes.
the lap pool available. So Robinson's Land went above and beyond to deliver such a wonderful and luxurious experience, AJ.
We want only what's best for our clients, which leads me to one of our awesome amenity, the play park. The play park, as you can see here, is a 300 square meter haven for children. Of course, we have safety in mind of the children, so our equipment and the finishings here is safe for children. And we also have the comfort of the parents in mind. We put a gazebo so that they can be shaded from the heat, because you know how kids are when they get excited. They will play under the sun and nonstop. So this is what we can give to our clients as well. Aside from that, we have at the other side of the Forbes Club, for the most active of our clients, we have an open court, tennis court, as well as a 800 square meter covered court, which is multi-purpose. So it's not
What's
just
in there?
basketball. You can also play volleyball and 2 games of badminton.
Okay, everyone, as we heard and saw, everyone will have a dedicated space to actually enjoy this place.
Yes, we really took everything into consideration to cater to everyone's needs.
I'm going to call it a truly complete community, AJ. That's what it is. There's no need to step out of the estate. Forbes Estate Lipa stays true to its promise, as we mentioned a while ago, a life well lived.
That's all thanks to the help of our brilliant partners for making it all possible.
Okay, now that we've talked about so much, about all these amazing amenities, I'm sure everyone is excited to know about the residential offerings.
I hope so, Pinky. So let's head to the much-awaited part of this tour, the residential offerings. We actually have 4 types of residential offerings. Let's start with the most prime of our residential offerings, the club lots. These are 10 corner lots that are surrounding Forbes Club. When it comes to unprecedented access to the Forbes Club, these types of lots are unrivaled. And if you want to be part of the most posh address inside Forbes Estates Lipa,
That's the
then
one.
you really have to buy a club lot. Next to the club lot, we have what we call Park Loop. So the Park Loop is our lots, 8 lots, adjacent to the estate park, in which you can actually feel that it's an extension of your garden because it's adjacent for your lot. So may it be you're looking for the pet park or the wellness park, so these are the lots for you. Although we only have 3 lots left in the Park Loop. That's one of our
3 lots left?
Yes, best-selling.
Okay.
Then next, we would go to our inner and corner lots, which we call estate lots. So as you can see here, these are all estate lots. So what's inside the estate lots? I'll give you a glimpse to it. So estate lots are our 500 square meter lot cuts, actually with 17-meter wide roads. As you can see in our virtual tour, we have dedicated bike lanes both sides and a lot of thoroughfares. With 500 square meters, you can build your dream home. May it be
Absolutely, yeah.
an urban jungle, let's say you really want a huge house for yourself, or it can be a leisurely by having a big backyard. So these are the perfect lots for you. And last but not the least are what we call courtyard lots. So these can be found in the virtual tour on the right side of your screen. So courtyard lots are the perfect mix of community and privacy. You will have your own semi-private park. Each courtyard lot has only 6 residential lots. And if you purchase 3 lots adjacent to each other, you will have one whole road just for yourself. So Pinky, if you were going to choose among the 4 lots, yes.
I don't know.
Which
They were
would be
all-
your favorite?
Well, first I was going to go for the club lots because you said those are the most posh. But then I looked at the estate. They were also very interesting. And the last one,
The courtyards?
the courtyard, also good because you said 6 in one area.
Yes.
That's also, I'm not sure. I think that for now, it doesn't really matter for me which lot. It's really what's very attractive about it is just so much open space. So any lot is a good lot.
And then also for our vast amenity, which was your favorite amenity?
The pet park.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not sure if I'm going to use the Tranquility Park, but I need Zen. But maybe a lot. The picnic, definitely,
Yes.
I like that. But you know what? I'll tell you one thing, AJ. If you have a picnic park, but you have a community that has so much green and so much open space, I'm not sure if you really need a picnic park because it's almost like wala
Yes.
kang masyadong katabi
Yes.
in your neighborhood. So,
Yes.
and I'm excited about the clubhouse, the pool, the lap pool, all those are great.
Yes.
So much of that. Forbes Estates Lipa really defines what luxury living is. So I'd like to thank AJ again.
Thank you.
AJ, thank you so much for giving us an in-depth walk virtually through the Forbes Estates Lipa. Thanks, AJ.
Thank you very much, Pinky. Thank you, everyone.
And now to talk about the vision and inspiration from the lens of property development, architecture, interior design, and of course, sustainable master planning, we have the builders and designers of Lipa's newest luxury residential development. We have Robinson's Land's Business Unit General Manager, Mr. Rico Raceles.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, our next guest is a licensed interior designer who has collaborated with international design firms such as Casa Armani, Versace Home, and Missoni Home, to name a few. Currently, she is an executive director of the esteemed Philippine Institute of Interior Designers, a member of the advisory board of the College of Architecture and Design of Andrew College, and the owner of Chat Forest Design Studio, Miss Chat Forest. And also we have a licensed architect and an unshakable optimist who always seeks meaningful connections between people and place through his designs, and has worked with clients such as Robinson's Land and Taft Properties Incorporated. He's currently the design director of managing partner of Archi-Asia. Please welcome architect Nacho Mauricio. And lastly, he offers 25 years of global experience in landscape architecture, master planning, and environmental graphic design in the United States, Middle East, and Asia. He has collaborated with distinguished design firms such as Foster & Partners, Perkins and Will, DPZ, ACOM, ADAS, and Atkins. A member of the American Society of Landscape Architecture, a licensed landscape architect in the Philippines, and managing director of Claris. Please welcome Mr. Michael Espiritu.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to start already. Good to see all of you virtually. First to Miko. I've got several questions here, and I'd like to start with you. Why has Robinson's Land been increasingly venturing into the luxury residential market?
Hi, Kay. Good afternoon to everyone. Well, we wanted to contribute to serving the needs of the luxury home buyers. There's a limited supply of residential developments in the luxury segment, especially in Metro Manila. And we've been fortunate that our recent launches, Aurelia Residences, the Villares Residences, and the residences at the Western Manila Sonato Place have been very well received by the market. Now, with Forbes Estates Lipa, this will be our first luxury subdivision development. Due to the pandemic, the benefits of privacy, greenery, and large spaces were really highly highlighted. and more families resort to live outside the metro. In fact, land values at high-end subdivisions have increased sharply in the past 2 years. And so we've designed an offering where residents can enjoy the benefits of safe, expansive spaces and a peaceful environment where we think they can continue to be productive while also making an investment that will surely appreciate over time.
You know, Miko, for Forbes Estates Lipa, I really like the phrase "a life well lived." Can actually really sense the intent to go beyond just offering amenities, and it's a lot, but a philosophy and way of life. Can you share more on that?
Yeah. As I mentioned, you see the experiences from the pandemic informed our thinking on how we wanted to define Forbes Estates Lipa. But at its core, what we really wanted to find out is what is the lifestyle that we will provide our residents. And the phrase "a life well lived" encapsulated it. By this, we broke it down to mean having the luxury of space, the luxury of time, plus the appeal and charm of the Lipa location and locale. So in luxury of space, we mean both in your home and within the estate. The lot cuts at an average of 500 square meters and the largest at almost 1,000 square meters doesn't allow compromise in terms of creating your ideal spaces. So whether you're designing to include a working office or a room for homeschooling, or you're looking to build a vacation home or ancestral home with a large communal space environment. The estate overall is also designed to have wide roads. We have 4 theme parks, a 1-hectare clubhouse, and at only 10 lots to a hectare, you still get the privacy and peace of a relaxing environment. On luxury of time, our goal was to try and give more of it to our residents by having everything you need for your physical health and social well-being within or near the estate. We wanted to make it a sanctuary where you can actually carve out more time to spend for yourself and with your family. And lastly, on choosing Lipa, it's an urbanized city that we feel has the right mix of giving residents accessibility to Manila, while still retaining that laid-back atmosphere and provincial feel of slow living. So in summary, Forbes Estates Lipa aims to be your home that caters to all of your needs, giving you the luxury to live at your own pace and allowing you to enjoy the things that really matter to you.
Thanks a lot, Miko. Now let's hear from the partners who translated this vision of RLC. I'd like to find out from Chat and architects Nacho and Michael. How was it working on a new project during the pandemic? Chat, let me ask you first.
Well, when we were working during the pandemic, the first thing that I was thinking was, I do have to prioritize because we design for interior spaces, so it's more human centered. So I had to focus more on the wellness of people because that's really like something that clients really ask for now, whether residential or commercial spaces. So the spaces that we have to design has to improve people physically, mentally, emotionally, and the big thing is that we have to bring them closer to nature. So the clubhouse was the best medium that we could work with during the pandemic. So I guess it was a perfect medium.
All right, I was having a bit of a problem, Chat, understanding the last part of what you said. I'm not sure if we lost your audio communication, but you're still on air. Are we able to ask Chat to kind of finish the last minute? We'll try again, Chat. Maybe just the last minute of what you were saying.
Okay.
There, I can hear you.
Repeat the there. Well, what we were doing during the pandemic was I had to prioritize and rethink what I was doing with my designs in general, whether commercial or residential design. And I thought of prioritizing human-centered design. So we had to think of wellness in general and to create physical, emotional spaces that will improve people and bringing the outdoors in and bringing them closer to nature. So the clubhouse was the perfect medium for doing this, and it was a good start for us as a design firm.
Interesting. And let's ask Nacho the same question. What was it like working on a new project during the pandemic?
Well, I think what you did was that the approach was different from what we're used to. So we what we did was we focused on more on how do we put in more natural lighting, more natural ventilation into the spaces, at the same time improving open spaces so that whenever people go around the clubhouse or the estate, they don't have to bump into each other because with the pandemic and everything, you don't want to be close to people when you're going out. Yeah.
True. Okay, Michael, what about you?
Yes, Pinky. This is a unique project. Forbes Estate Lipa. We started this pre-pandemic, and then we're launching it as the pandemic ends. And in between those, we had 2 years to kind of digest this project and really think about everything. It's usually, a project like this usually takes no more than no more than a year. But in this case, it took us more than 2 years. So that gave us a little bit more time to really think about what the expectations of the buyers are after the pandemic or during the pandemic, what they're really looking for in residential development. So we gave a little bit more insight on, of course, the outdoor spaces. What do residents need now more than ever? That they need more spaces now than they did before the pandemic. So that was a very interesting and challenging design exercise for this project.
One of the central feature amenities of the Forbes estate, it's its very own clubhouse, the Forbes Club. And Chat, you were talking about this a while ago. I understand you were the one in charge of the interior design, as mentioned. It's good maybe to find out, this is huge. It's a big clubhouse. What was your maybe inspiration in creating this?
Well, together with the wellness approach that we wanted to, actually my inspiration was the whole community. Yeah, we have the mall and then we have the residences. But there's a space that should be available for family members to take a dip in the pool, for the moms to work out, or even just to meet and greet their friends. So this clubhouse was that. And together with that wellness approach, we wanted people, as they enter the lobby, to immediately transport themselves into feeling better. When you enter a space and you suddenly feel better because it's pleasant, that's that was our goal. And I think we achieved it in a way that we have the high space, the high ceiling, the super spacious lobby, and then you see the expanse of the space, the courtyard, the pools. It's such a huge space. So I think we achieved that, and the inspiration of creating a tropical oasis was number one for us, for the community.
But were there any trends or possibly even key features that you incorporated as you were working on the interior design of the amenities?
In keeping with the approach to sustainable materials, we're going to try to put in sustainable finishes such as low VOC paints. It's good for the health of people, and probably try to put in antibacterial tiles and touchless fixtures for the bathrooms. And maybe for the gym, we put in the cardio, the weights, and we want to add in like probably a CrossFit station, TRX, and all the bells and whistles for a gym. So we have everything in line for the kiddos and all the adults to work out in.
Okay, thank you. So let me ask Nacho, now you guys worked on the plans of Forbes Estates during the pandemic. And with the shifting priorities and maybe even, of course, preferences of home buyers, you had obviously, certainly had to take these into consideration. So, Nacho, from an architectural design aspect, what were your considerations when working on this project?
Well, our key feature was to make sure that the existing trees or the acacia trees were first preserved, so that whenever because what we wanted was to preserve all the trees that are existing, and then at the same time, when it comes to the wellness and health and well-being of the people, we know that architecture has a huge influence in people's moods and feelings. So we focused on providing as much natural lighting, focusing on double height spaces, and the planning is arranged in a way that it hugs the trees or the landscape built by Michael Frieris, and at the same time the welcoming feature of the clubhouse, if you're coming from the street, allows you to be allows you to feel very welcome and uh, very welcome as you enter into the
Yeah,
clubhouse.
I'm sure that's what Michael will say as well, because I was going to ask, is it the same
Yeah.
for you, Michael, since your firm Criaris was in charge of the environmental landscaping? What was the impact of the pandemic with your plans for Forbes Estates?
Yeah, that's a good question. The past 2 years, I know everybody experienced a wake up call. Everybody started doing activities that they usually did indoors. They're starting to do it outdoors, like dining, exercising, playing, even working. And I believe the the impact of the pandemic sort of reset us in that way, wherein we're valuing more the outdoor spaces or outdoor living in general. And I think it's it's in our genes. It's hardwired in us that we need outdoor space. We need parks and open spaces. We need to jog outdoors. We need to swim outdoors, play outdoors. And I think we didn't run short on Forbes Estates Lipa. We definitely provided a lot of outdoor amenities for health and wellness. You have the Tranquility Park, the picnic park, the swimming pool, the playground, the activity park, and not only for people but also for pets. So you have that dog park as well. So I think this is a big leap when it comes to landscape architecture. Post-pandemic, definitely outdoor living has been given more value. So I hope this continues, this trend continues well into the future.
But what are the sustainable concepts that you have introduced in the design of the open spaces in Forbes Estates Lipa? Say, for example, the estate park. Can you possibly discuss that in detail?
Sure. First and foremost, the site is blessed with a lot of existing trees. Acacia trees or rain trees, as we call them. These are really big trees, at least 50 years old. And as Nacho mentioned earlier, we really wanted to save these trees and enhance them. They're very valuable assets to the site. And, you don't want to plant something now and wait 50 years to appreciate it. I mean, these trees really give their value right now at this present time. So that was one. The second was to plant native species of trees and shrubs. Native species, we all know, adapt better to our native climate, and they require less maintenance. And third, we added the orchard. The orchard are trees that are fruit bearing, so it makes the landscape productive as far as producing food for the residents. And lastly, the way we manage the stormwater, we managed it in a way that when it rains, water is allowed to percolate through and to replenish our groundwater. And this doubles as well as flood prevention for the whole residential community.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone, you gave us a sense of what went into the design, the architecture, and what the vision was for this project. Thank you. And how, of course, Forbes Estates Lipa was crafted for a post-pandemic world wherein well-being and a life well-lived is paramount without compromising mobility, productivity, and, of course, quality of life. Again, I'd like to thank our guests, Miko, Chad, architects Nacho, and Michael for that very insightful discussion. So now we're giving you a glimpse of how new developments are progressing in the construction update video of Forbes Estates Lipa. Let's all watch this. this is such a promising project, and I'm getting more excited to see the actual amenities and all its other offerings. Now, let's hear it from the Lipeños themselves on what they have to say about living in Lipa. Why not get it straight from them? We have invited 3 accomplished individuals who are icons in their respective fields and have made the life decision to invest and live in Lipa, Batangas. Joining us this afternoon to discuss a glimpse of the life in Lipa are media consultant and a proud owner of a 2-hectare farm in Lipa, Ms. Chari Villa. Also joining us this afternoon, news and current affairs host and columnist of the Philippine Star, who has more than 20 years of experience in crisis management and public relations, a proud Lipa resident, Mr. Cito Beltran. And lastly, we have a chemist and the Chief Executive Officer of Progressive Laboratories, Polybet Testing Services Corporation, and KPP Powers Commodities. She also serves as the chairman of the board of Harvard Business School OPM Program Philippines chapter and a new owner of a villa at the farm at San Benito. Please welcome Ms. Pinky Tobiano. I'd like to thank all of you for being here and welcome to the virtual premiere launch of the Forbes Estates Lipa. We wanted to get to know your perspectives on inspired living. I'm sure we're going to hear so much about that. And lifestyle centered on wellness around the city. So, what made you invest in Lipa as a primary or even secondary home? Let me ask Chari that question first. What made you invest in Lipa as a primary or secondary home? First, is it your primary or secondary home?
It's become my primary, Pinky, because I found living in Lipa very easy, relaxed. The people are very respectful. When you drive around Lipa, they still stop. When you're backing out, they don't honk their horns. Everyone's a bit chill than living in Manila. So I've made Lipa my primary home now, and I think Lipa is undervalued. That's why I acquired lot at a very good price, and I believe, when you buy in this property, it will still improve the prices.
Yeah.
That's why.
So how long ago were you there?
I retired from ABS around 2016. I acquired the property in 2017. And I've been living in Lipa even before the pandemic in 2018. I was shuttling back and forth 2018, back to Parañaque, then Lipa. In 2019, I decided I'm going to stay here. With internet connection improving and, they're building a lot of roads as well, Pinky.
Yeah.
So access to the farm, to my farm is very good now.
Is it?
So I'm very glad I'm here.
Okay, let me go first to Cito. Cito, is that your primary or secondary home?
I really don't know anymore because it's so easy to go back and forth between Manila and Lipa that there are days that you just go back and forth, and there are days we stay. Well, my last stay in Lipa was 6 months, the entire 6 months during the pandemic, until finally I just had to come back to Manila to take care of some business. But it's so close that you can actually live in Lipa, work in the city in Manila, or vice versa. In fact, I have a friend who's 84 years old. He goes back and forth 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been to Chari's farm a couple of times, and it is an easy drive as long as I get to exit the right exit. There's something about Waze that confuses me going to her place. Okay, wait, let me go to Pinky first. Pinky, what about you? Is it your primary or secondary home?
Well, hi Pinky. Now I think Lipa is like half-half, like Sito. Half of the week I'm here, the next half I go to Manila. It's just a quick drive, and I really fell in love with Lipa. It's beautiful, and it's an eco-conscious, socially responsible city. And during the pandemic, maybe I'd like to share, I stayed here during the lockdown because of COVID. But after staying here for a month, I fell in love with here in the farm at San Benito. So I decided to live here. And look at my view, Mount Malaraya there. So I think Lipa is such a beautiful place.
Pinky, I thought you were using a chroma. Nah, I'm kidding. That's really your background.
No, this is my back. Let me turn.
Prove
So
it.
this is my home. Okay, this is my house. So this is me. And that's the back. You see, that's my, and this is where, wait, let me show you. This is my pool.
Oh,
Ayan.
wow.
So it's a heated pool. At the back, you see the beautiful Mount Malarayat. You can really recharge. You know, Zoom is so convenient now. So I do my Zoom. Lipa has very good internet connection with the two service providers. And I think it's a perfect place. If you want to live longer, fresh air, I think it's the best.
You actually look really great there. But in at the farm.
Max, thank you,
No,
thanks.
seriously, you know, I don't know. That background is amazing. You look great. And even Cherry and Sito.
Look.
Diba?
Thank you.
Wait, ang dami ko pang tanong. Okay, I'll go back to Cherry. How did your life transform when you moved to Lipa?
Oh, a lot. I've simplified. You know, I call this my third period age. Parang I'm done with the corporate life. So I'm freer to do what I want to do. Taking care of animals, for one. So I have the space for that. I have fruit trees, and I love watching birds fly out there in the wild. So I have all of that. And now, because in the city before, I would just drive to work, and you know, I've worked in several newsrooms, and you know, Pinky, how pressure packed that was. So now I don't even know what day it is when I wake up.
I love that. I want to be able to say that to myself one day. Ano araw ngayon? Hindi, tsaka ano pa, you don't need a watch. Because I guess when, di ba? You're
don't
not
need a
wearing
watch.
any.
Yeah, I've simplified a lot. It's just that I check my ref every now and then to see how my supply is doing.
Yeah. Cherry she'll cook you a feast when you're at her place.
Yeah, and then you have the amenities outside the city. You can go to you have a choice of 3 supermarkets, or you want to go to the wet markets. You have a choice to go to Quezon because I'm at the border, or you can go to Lipa town. Like Sito and I were talking earlier and said, you know,
Sito from you? Because you're near Pinky.
Yeah, I'm near the farm.
Yeah. Sito, how far are you from Cherry?
I'm actually right beside Summit Golf and Country Club, which, by the way, is one of the 3 golf courses in Lipa. So for the golf aficionados, you have 2 high-end golf clubs and the country club, and another one is I think for at the air base. So, but I'm near Malvar, near Lima Park, etc.
So wait, just a follow-up, Sito, before I go to Pinky. So how was your life transformed when you moved to Lipa?
Well, to be fair, we've been in Lipa from the very beginning, late 70s, 80s, and so on. When we started out in Lipa, I remember property was 50,000 pesos per hectare, or five pesos per square meter. Now you can't get that in Lipa. Prices have gone up, and when Chari and you were talking, I was just going to tell you, Pinky, and your viewers, don't wait until you're retired to retire. Many people wait for 65 to retire and they can't afford it anymore. They've gotten too old physically and then it's too expensive. So, Pinky, at your age, you've got enough money. Go buy a place in Robinson's Forbes Lipa because now is the time for you. And you know, there's a myth. A lot of people think, "Oh, I've got to have so many hectares of property." That's not necessarily the case. If you've got 1,000 square meters, most people when they retire they end up realizing, "I need a small house. I need less." But they want space for their garden, for their pets like Chari, and for their well-being like Pinky. So you know, don't try to study. Don't go to what everybody says because you might get misled.
You know, Sito, those watching us right now, those are really words that need to be told and people need to understand. Now, don't wait later. Kung kaya mo ngayon, you can invest in something. Maybe if you need to make utang, ganyan. Basta kung kakayanin mo. Kasi these people here in front of me, there's a lot of these people here, ha? Sometimes that's the farthest from their mind. So, wise words from a wise man. Okay, so what about Pinky? How did your life transform when you moved to Lipa?
My life transformed a lot. Actually, one of the reasons I moved to Lipa, Pinky, I guess some of you may know I have a medical challenge. I go to Mount Elizabeth before pandemic, like every month. I have an autoimmune and fibromyalgia. So the time I cannot fly to Mount Elizabeth in Singapore because of lockdown, I came here to the farm at San Benito and I was able to heal myself. The tranquility and the medical facility here is amazing. They had an holistic approach and they coordinated with my doctors in Mount Elizabeth, which made a huge difference. Actually, I'm a homeowner of Lipa. It's my 8th day living here in Lipa and I love it. Ang 8th day ko pa lang and I'm so in love. In fact, I told Manila, can we just Zoom CCTV? Tinitignan ko lang office. Life is such a bliss here in Lipa. It's a blessing. I'm so grateful. Kaya tama sinabi mo, Sito, eh. If you can invest in a lot in Forbes Town of Robinsons, as early as now, it's pre-selling. I think it's a perfect investment or the perfect gift you can give yourself. I hope they give good discounts and a long payment installment for us too today. Mga 10 years to pay, meron bang ganon? Mga 10 years
Tatanungin natin later. Sita, go ahead.
Pinky, if I may cut in, no? Because when Miko was making the presentation, I was doing a quick review of the mathematics. Alam mo naman ako, take 7 sa Math 11. I realized what it costs to, because I'm beside a townhouse development here in Capitolio, and they're selling the properties at 32 to 35,000 for the multi-level unit. For that kind of, 32 million, you can buy a beautiful spread there in Forbes Lipa. So, do the math, guys. Townhouse in Manila, and most of my friends, they've got big properties in Manila. They gave it all up and they've moved out.
I checked in Lamudi, on Forbes Estates, and the prices are still very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get one.
Yeah, Miko, baka we have a speakers discount today. We can all commit. Diba?
You know what, guys? When we had a rehearsal, that was one of my first questions. So I asked him the price, and then I did the math right away. And I have to agree with Chari, because these guys have been there. When I did the math, it's not a bad price, especially with all the amenities. I don't know if you guys heard everything that we discussed a while ago. They have so much. They have 4 parks, they have a clubhouse, they have a pool, 3 kinds of pool, etc. Basta ang dami. So it's a community with so much amenities. Wait, I want to ask something, because it was Sito who's been in Lipa since the 1970s. Sabi nga niya, 5 pesos per square meter nung panahon na yun. So, ako hindi pa ako pinapanganak noon. 1-year-old pa lang ata ako. Can you share us how Lipa has progressed? What did you see its transformation throughout the years?
Lipa is a continually developing, progressing city. And when we first came here, the highway was asphalt, Laurel Highway, 2 lanes going and coming. And then most of the side roads were mud roads. So ngayon puro sementado na, widened roads, etc. I couldn't even think or imagine myself getting sick in Lipa in the 70s and 80s because all the principal health facilities were in Metro Manila. But now Lipa has, I think, 4 big hospitals. Another one is coming up. And I had a serious accident last year and I was rushed to Mary Mediatrics, and I was given the best care I could expect. I was out of the hospital after 3 days. They did an operation, emergency operation. And one time when I had a threat, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I called my doctor at the heart center and he said, "Sir, just go to our colleagues in Mary Mediatrics." So clearly because many people who want to retire or just kind of chill out and go outside of the city, their first concern is medical facilities. Lipa has all of them. And as Chari pointed out, the supermarkets, the malls, we've got 2 malls, Robinson's Mall, SM, and then we have SNR also. So as far as the quality of life, not to mention Lima Park, it's really, it reminds me of the suburban areas of California where you have what you need, but it's not as stressful as living in the city. So, and then when Pinky was talking about internet, I have a dedicated line from PLDT. It's a home fiber optic internet, and that's what allowed me to broadcast my TV show 6 months straight out of my farm.
And there was no lagging that happened around that time, no? Okay, so
yeah.
So Chari, I'll go back to you for transparency. As mentioned a while ago, I've been to Chari's farm a number of times. So it's a 2-hectare farm that Chari has. Can you tell us more about it? Tell the viewers more about it.
Oh, I got it in 2017. It was raw. Kogon grass were all around. I couldn't even see the Mount Malarayat, no? But when we started clearing it, the fruit trees revealed themselves. So, I have everything. I have avocado, guyabano. I have buko, coconut, and amazing, no? So I realized I had so much. So my life now is like a life of gratitude kasi having so much colors nga like this surrounding me every day. Minsan I'd say, Wendell, my farm caretaker, do we have kamote? Ma'am, we have a lot. I don't even know that we do, pero I can survive living off this land without getting out. Sabi nga ni Sito, when you're inside the farm, you don't want to get out anymore. It's a self-sustaining place. So I really love.
But what about the cost of living? Is it cheaper in Lipa?
Thanks. Gasoline is 7 pesos cheaper. So if you want to gas up, come to me first.
Sayang pupunta pa dyan, di ba? Pakainin mo na rin, pa-overnight mo na rin. Okay, thanks for that. Chari, go ahead.
I mean, you full tank is like 7. It's a lot cheaper here in Lipa. I don't know why. Maybe because Batangas is the landing, no, for oil products that come into the Philippines. So it's really cheaper here.
Okay, so I'll go to Pinky now. Pinky already said she's an advocate of wellness. Can you share your journey? You did say something already a while ago, but in choosing Lipa to further promote wellness, why there? What directed you there?
Why? Yeah, Pigs, I'm a cancer survivor. And recently I was diagnosed with a challenge of an autoimmune and fibromyalgia. And Lipa has the farm at San Benito, which is also recognized by Mount Elizabeth Hospital in Singapore. So when I started coming here, first in Lipa, the air is very fresh and population is not dense. So that's one of the key. And look at this view, amazing. So how can you not fall in love with Lipa? I go to work like 3 times a week and I stay here for the rest of the week. It's only an hour and a half. In fact, when I go to Makati and go to my home in Ayala, Hillside in Quezon City, it's almost 2 hours with traffic. But from if I leave evening in Quezon City, coming to the farm at San Benito, it's just like an hour and a half. So it's really one of the blessings. And second, here in Lipa, I just go to the garden here. I pick up my thyme, my rosemary, there's kale. So this is the life I think that is ideal. And especially Pinks, I brought my parents here. They're with me from time to time because my mom, Sita knows my mom very well, but mommy is a cancer survivor and currently my mom has aggressive dementia. So Lipa is a perfect place where my mom can stay and it's safe from COVID because it's all greens. Still a lot of greens compared to Manila. So if you really would like to have a second home, please invest in Robinson's Forbes Town Estate. I think their prices are still very reasonable. And 5 years from now, you wouldn't regret this decision, getting a property in Forbes Town and moving into Lipa.
Okay, so Pinky answered my next question, how to influence our guests to buy a property in Lipa. Quickly, I'll go to Sito and then Shari, that same question.
Okay, like I said already, while you still can, while you can afford, and please, many of us always say we can't afford it, etc. But a lot of my friends decided it was a lot cheaper to live in Lipa and they would be healthier. Plus, they gave up what they had in the city and they found better things in Lipa. We have proven to ourselves that it's a lifestyle that is okay. 6 months in Lipa, we didn't miss until some of our friends said, "Oy, umuwi ka na, sobrang haba na ng bakasyon mo." But it's more than a vacation. It's a lifestyle, and if you can arrange it with the Robinsons people, I strongly recommend that you consider it because I'm in the later part of life, and I've come to realize you don't need much. You don't need a big house. You don't need a lot of cars. In Lipa, as I told Chari, kami sa Lipa, pag dumating na kami sa bahay, hindi na kami lumalabas. Buwan na bago kami lumabas. And if you're going to be staying in Robinson's Forbes in Lipa, Forbes Estate, with all those amenities, the clubhouses, the parks, the picnic area, and then they'll put up all of those commercial area. It's all in. That's how I would describe it. It's all in, the perfect deal. And you don't need, kasi you can ask Chari, masarap sabihin may 2 hectares ka, may 1 hectare ka. Pero pag kayo na po yung magtatabas, kung kayo na yung maglilinis, sakit ng ulo, okay na yung 1,000 square meters. Pinky.
Malaki na nga yun, di ba? Malaki na yung 1,000. Si Chari kasi, ano yan well, as she mentioned, she bought it in 2017. It was offered to her. Chari, how about you? Just to convince or tell our viewers about Lipa.
Because I live here. That's why you got to move.
Stay away from her.
And also, because sabi nga namin, Batangas is a hub. You can go from, kunyari, Lipa, you can go to the Batangas port and go to Mindoro or Palawan or anywhere you want to go. With the Roro there and the boat, you can get your motorcycle or your pickup and board these ferries to get to the islands you want to get to. So it's very beautiful to live in Batangas actually. You can stay in your space or you can also venture out because you know what, guys, we really haven't ventured much around our own country. Quezon is beautiful. The islands are beautiful. So you'll be closer to the Batangas port where you can just bring your car over and go to that ferry and or your bikes and just venture.
Okay.
Oh, don't forget, Chari, yung Tagaytay is 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then Laia is just an hour, 20 minutes away. They have great beaches, etc.
Well, it was.
And there's a lot of new good restaurants here too. If you come here, Pinky,
Like what?
there's a lot of parang here, Casa Marikit. My God, you know, I would go there. It's really good Italian food here in Lipa. And then there's this bake shop in Lipa that's popular. He trained under a Michelin chef, Iho. So it's also here. These are the best
Right.
kept secrets of Lipa. And it's just a small place.
Right.
Talagang it's so
I had
nice.
that. Those were like the croissants with, different kinds of toppings and all that. The Iho one. Yeah, that was so good. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
diba?
Yeah, maybe when we go visit Chari, we can go visit Sito and Pinky as well. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes.
Chari, Sito, and Pinky.
Yeah,
Pinky,
thank
take care
you.
of yourself. And thank you, Chari and Sito, for sharing
Thank
your
you.
stories. Sito, it's so good to see you again.
Same here,
Okay.
Pinky. You're looking
Chari,
good.
I'll
And
see you
please
soon.
visit us.
Thanks, everybody. So, that was.
Shari, I message you too. Bye, Pink.
Bye-bye.
Pinky, visit me. Bye. Yeah, I'll chat with them.
That's a happy bunch. Before the virtual event draws to a conclusion, I have Miko. Miko, kanina ka pa hinahanap, Racelis, to answer any questions you may have. So, here's the question. Miko, you heard them already. So I'm going to repeat the question. Our audience wants to know, well, number one, can they visit the site? Is it available for viewing? And how can they schedule?
Yes, the site is available for viewing. So though construction is in full swing at the moment, we've set aside an area for the buyers to be able to view the majority of the property. And they can just get in touch with us, ideally, a day before, so that we can set aside a schedule to meet the prospective clients at their place of preference or at the site itself.
And then, how much would it cost to own a lot in the property?
Prices would start at approximately 24,000 per square meter. With average lot sizes at 500 square meters, the total selling prices would start at around 12 million pesos.
I see. So again, it's about 24,000 per square meters. And then going back to what the guests were saying, Chari and Sito and Pinky, just looking at especially Sito, saying that if you can, and do it. Or it's just gonna go up. Basically, that's what they're saying. Tataas ng tataas lang yan. And maganda pa daw yung presyo according to Sito.
Yeah. And actually, they would know better than us because they've been there, particularly Sito has been there for a long time already. And Chari just recently, and Pinky also just recently. But they're basically the proof of what that lifestyle is all about. And they've already shared with us that they've been so happy about moving there, and it really hasn't compromised about what are the things they've given up by moving out into Lipa. And actually, they've cited benefits of moving there. They've also experienced the benefits of health and better well-being and the practicality of living there. So yeah, everything that they said is essentially what awaits our residents for those who do want to invest in Forbes Estate.
Last question, Mika, do you have any message to the buyers or investors?
Okay, well, we're very excited with our entry into the luxury subdivision development space. And we want to let our viewers know that every detail of the development was designed towards giving them that elusive lifestyle of a life well lived. Thank you to everyone who joined us today this afternoon.
Thank you for that, Miko. That wraps up the Q&A. And of course, again, thank you to Miko for your time. And of course, for more questions, if you have any more questions, you can actually, of course, through your questions on there's a one-on-one chat with our property consultants later after the program. So the future of Lipa is bright ahead, well, I might find myself moving to Lipa as well. Again, thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of the day.
Please stand by for the one-on-one consultations with Forbes Estates Lipa's property consultants. Feel free to send a message in the chat box if you wish to have some time with them. They'll be glad to give you more extensive information about the property.